Okay, so this is you, Cloak. Let's see. Team comp is very interesting. Venom Penny on attack is crazy. Obviously, you'd rather have a Maga Strange, but nothing you can do about that.
Here comes trouble. Systems restoring.
I mean, this is fine. There's something going on behind you, though. Yeah. Obviously, make sure you listen out for this stuff when you're on support. You're always going to be the target of flankers. I thought I would say, and you heard something, so always just keep your ear out. And tell your teammates too, because you don't want to get left behind. Because a lot of times when you get dove, your teammates tend to leave you behind, so it's really important to tell them. But we'll see. Maybe you do hear it. Oh, you do. Nice. Be careful where you back up, okay? Because right now you're splitting yourself from your team. You really need to be with your Inviswoman. However, good usage of the Terror Cape straight away. That's super good. Nice fade. If I were you, I wouldn't be dropping back down into him. I think you landed on this ledge here, and that was great, and I would have probably kept my bubble here and just healed up here. If I were you, and tried to walk towards my teammate. I mean, your job is to try and regroup. If you can regroup, that's best. I wouldn't get too distracted by him, because that's what he wants, is for you to be distracted. Don't let yourself get distracted for too long. Try and regroup with your team. Also, I would try and path through this room here, because you have a health pack here.
Lights out.
Nice bubble. Okay, and you're safe. Don't get, again, remember, focus on your team here. Don't. The whole job of a diver is to distract you. You can't let them get that much value. Perfect. Okay, well, the team got it. Again, got to be building ult charge, so yeah, that's it. Always keep that Terror Cape off cooldown, on cooldown. Got to be using it as much as you can, because it usually is a competition of whose cloak can build ult fastest. Especially when you're playing against Magneto, obviously you want to build your ult before he builds his. Nice bubble. Okay, I did say use your cape a lot, but that wasn't really a great use. You really want to use it when it's gonna hit. So if I were you, and I know this group will just got placed, but I'd wait until this Strange hasn't got his shield up at all, so you can get a double on the group. Or just when they push up quite a bit.
What am I? Invisible? Feeling fantastic.
Okay. It's really important when this happens that you try and blind the Groot so that he can't see. Otherwise he's going to hit that wall perfectly. If you can blind them, it's going to help your team. Sadly, you don't have bubble. Oh, you don't have cape. Fuck. Let's see this again. I thought that was cape, but you're in cloak form here, aren't you? So you don't have cape. Let's watch that again. Okay, yeah, you do have cape. I'm not tripping, yeah. So yeah, obviously you do want to try and blind him, but there's not much you can do here. Because if you were to blind, maybe you could have got your ult, but really nothing you can do. Yeah. Nice position. Oh, yeah, Penny went in too far. It's definitely safe to drop now. The biggest difference maker between a cloak that wins game and a cloak that doesn't is how oppressive they are. Like, because anybody can sit back on cloak and just kind of heal, and then win like 52% of their games. But the way I tend to win a lot of games of cloak is I always get my cape on supports or like squishies because it does so much damage, and I always throw my cape at the right time There's a lot of ways you can carry on Cloak. I think you've played quite well so far. Nothing crazy. What I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the ult here, to be honest. It's not really relevant, and you really want to be saving your ult for a defensive reason, meaning, you know, BP ult or Groot ult or Strange ult. I'm not a big fan of using your ult here, because as you can see, everybody on your team is full HP. Right, everyone is full HP. There's no reason to ult. It's quite a waste.
Us against the world.
Us against the world!
Appreciate the
Nice.
Tremble before fast!
I do have to question why you didn't fade into the room. Like, right here, there's nowhere safe behind you, really, that you're going to get, especially if you see where the payload is. You would have been so, like, way better off just coming into this room, to be honest. Because then the Strange has to make a decision whether to continue to hold the front line or to jump up here.
My time to shine!
Tremble before fast!
Not much you can do about that once the ult hits. Okay, quite far back here. If I were you, I would try and walk up a bit and try and get some ult charge. If I were you. Like, you're not doing anything right now, and the biggest thing I'm seeing is there's just a lot of downtime in your gameplay. Like right now, and I wish my camera... Okay, there we go. You could be over here, like around here, literally just shooting a few daggers, and yes, it's like nothing, but that extra bit of ult charge is still massive. Especially when you're trying to catch up to their Cloak, who has 50%.
You're up, little one.
By the eye of Agamotto!
What am I? Invisible?
Nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about that at all. Don't use your bubble unless you have to. Okay? That bubble wasn't needed, okay? You didn't need it. Like, if you just think about it, did you need that healing there? Was it necessary? No. And if it's not, don't use it, okay? Especially against Groot. Or BP. Or any dive character, really. Like, because the bubble is Cloak's only way of healing herself. You can't heal yourself any other way. So using it like that is quite wasteful. And I mean, I'm saying this and I know that Groot is about to... He may Groot on the bubble. It'd be helpful, but he doesn't.
Invisible? Us against the world!
I worry it didn't work out.
Defensive it down!
Here's how you
My time to shine!
Not that this matters, but I just want to know why you didn't. I mean, I guess it's fine, but I'm surprised the Scarlet Witch didn't kill you. Oh my gosh. You would have been so much better off in a situation like this, just fading and hiding everybody from her ult. You could have saved so many people. Like, with any of these ults, with Strange, or, I mean, they're really any ult, Magic ult as well, and Strange ult, and Hulk ult. I've said Strange twice, but also with Scarlet Witch, you can invis your entire team here. All you have to do, stand on top of the payload, and then you would just stand still, because obviously if you move in a cloak ult, it takes your teammates out, and just stand still and fade, and it would have definitely saved. We'll just say 1, 2, 3. Would have saved those two. It wouldn't have saved the penny, but then you would have been even. So make sure you're using your fade to save your teammates, or invis, whatever you want to call it.
Invisible? My time to shine. Feel
I'm not a big fan of the way you use your fade.
Where am I?
Like, you really don't want to just go up in the air. You really would have been so much better off if you just faded into that room. When you use fade, try and use it to get to cover, okay? Because here you could have faded. Hold on, let's go back a bit. Right here, you're down 3, so your goal instantly needs to be to back up. And you'd have been, okay, yeah, going in a corridor against BP isn't great, but you have a bubble, so... Also, what is he doing? That looks really funny. So make sure you're using your fade to get out of places, and that you always end up in a safe place. It's the same with Luna Snow as well. With Luna, like, when you're coming out of your ult, you need to be in a safe place. Or just with any support ability that involves movement. You just need to be in a safe place once you come out of it.
You know what to do, fighters? Powering down! Us against the world!
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. It's an aggressive ult. What I don't like is that your ult has ended up over here. Remember, with Cloak ult, it only lasts 8 seconds now. I would have doubled back here, because none of your team is now forced to push all up to the here, because this is the last bit of the Cloak ult that's going to last the longest. I'm not sure how much I like that, but it's okay for now. But with Cloak ult, I would say on the 4th dash, try to maybe double back. Because remember, whichever one your final dash is the most important one, because that one lasts the longest. So make sure it's in a place that your team can actually use. Let me rewatch that.
Tremble before fast!
That was really nice. That was great. You seem to be quite good at that. You did that at the start as well with the fade, with the Terra Cape into fade. That's good. Keep that up. I mean, the whole flying straight up in the air thing is interesting, but it doesn't mean it's bad in that situation. It's just bad when you need to be getting to cover and not flying in the air.
Only 60 seconds left.
By the eye of Agamotto!
When you're... Another thing on Cloak is, when you know you're about to take a decent amount of damage... Now, let me just clarify, because I don't want to say this unless you didn't... Okay, so you did have bubble. When you see a strange portal, or you see damage incoming, like that portal is going to result in quite a lot of damage coming into your team. Make sure you hit your bubble and then swap. And I don't want to say this without making sure you didn't do that. No, you didn't. Whenever you swap into Cloak form, from Dagger, make sure that you're putting your bubble down if you're going to be taking damage. Like, if you're going to start DPSing their team, you need to have a way of healing yourself to sustain that kind of aggressive playstyle. And the only way to do that is with the bubble. So just, you know, when you can tell that you're about to take a lot of damage, you need to do damage back, put a bubble at your feet.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Because in that, you would have lived if you had the bubble there. They used a lot of ults though. They've used BP, Strange, and they've used Invisible Woman. I don't... Why would you go out of your bubble, okay? Your bubble heals you almost... It almost makes you invincible with how much healing it does. I understand the Strange blowing up is scary, but... Number one, the bubble's quite preemptive. It didn't need to happen that early, but here you're backing out of your healing. You know? Like, you have fade, so if the Strange is going to explode, you can just fade it. But don't back out of your only way of, like, healing. Because you can't trust your invis.
Much better.
Again, you also should just fade there, but I'm sure you knew that. That wasn't the mistake. The mistake was backing out of your bubble.
Down to 30 seconds. Against the world!
Still quite wasteful with the bubble. Don't waste the bubble. It's a long cooldown.
A little help, please. Let's keep fighting until we have player mode. Final 10 seconds.
I think I notice you rush your cooldowns a lot.
My time to shine.
Like, you have the signs of quite a good player, but then there's just things that just you shouldn't be doing. Like here, it's okay to cape
Took the
that.
edge off, thanks.
Like, I'm fine with that cape. It's completely unlucky that it didn't hit. But even then, it was still rushed. Like, you didn't use the cape when you knew it would hit. And I did, you know, you got to be using cape when you know it's going to hit. That, however, is an unlucky example. I think that should have hit.
Player mode. My time
But
to
with the
shine.
bubbles as well, they're quite rushed.
Where am I? Invisible?
Lights out.
Again, you know he's going to dash. I mean, throwing that cape there instantly is really risky. He's usually going to miss. Try and throw it when you know it's going to hit.
Welcome to the Dark Force dimension.
My time to shine.
This is nice. I like the bubble on the point.
All systems synced up.
Yeah, these capes need to be hit.
My time to shine.
It's the most important way to win games on Cloak is cape, because cape got a massive buff recently to 28% damage boost, and it completely blinds them as well. So whenever you cape a tank, they always back up. Keep that in mind. When a tank is caped, they will almost always back up, even if they don't need to, because of the blind. So it's a really good way of just taking space.
For the week.
You owe me one. Be right there. Better stop that vehicle. There's still a chance to stop them.
I am through!
Us against the world.
I don't know why you're ulting. The most The most important thing on support is the people that win are the ones that use their support ults when they absolutely need to. No other time. They only use it when it is absolutely necessary. Okay? You want to hold your ult as long as possible and get as much value as possible from it. You want to deny as much as you can. Using your ult here is just unnecessary. You still have your bubble, your cape, your fade, and your light shield. You have every cooldown available. You have all the healing in the world without your ult, so it's really not necessary here. Especially when you know that they have a strange ult coming up, and I mean, you don't know if they have BP. Like, you know they're going to have strange ult. BP ult, you have no idea, but it might be close. That's not the one you need to care about. The strange ult is the one you need to care about. See, with this bubble down, you are safe. Do not rush, okay? So far, what I'm seeing is just a lot of rush gameplay. Rush cloak ults, rush bubbles, rush capes, and that is really going to mess you up. Because the whole point of support to win games is to be as efficient as possible with your cooldowns as you can, and get as much value as you can without having to use anything. Because now they might live this cloak ult and get their cloak ult, and then you only have one support ult and they've got two. And as you can see, it wasn't necessary. Your Bucky ran through them regardless of healing.
Tremble before power!
Nice fade.
Again!
Okay, same again. For now it's fine, but I'm just going to preemptively say what I want to see is once they are coming out, I want to see you getting damage and building your support ult again. You don't need to be on the payload completely yet. It's okay for now, but once their team pushes up, you need to be shooting daggers and trying to build, even if it's just 5% extra, that's still a good, like, anything is better than nothing.
Only 60 seconds left.
So even now, like, if this is me, there is nothing wrong with walking up here and starting to shoot shots at their team, or hopping in cloak form and shooting the strange, because your team is in no danger. You don't need to be healing right now. And if they do, you can just put a bubble down. But this is a big thing. Like, if you see this now, why be this far back, right? There's no need. You'd be way better off standing up on the payload right now and shooting the strange or just doing any sort of damage, right? Like if we look at your damage on Cloak and Dagger, it's 6k actually, that's good. But I still think that doesn't change like what you need to be doing, which is maximizing your uptime. Right, like these stats on paper are good. Like you still have good stats here. And their Cloak is failing to do damage. However, it doesn't change what I'm seeing right now, which is you have an opportunity to get a lot of damage, and you're not taking advantage of that. Like your Bucky is absolutely fine. Your Invisible will heal him.
Now or never. Stop that.
Now your Penny's getting low, so you're probably gonna have to bubble and stick to healing.
Sorry. Disappear.
Nice.
My turn to shine.
Spider. Lights out. I got what you appreciate the boost.
That's good.
Down to 30 seconds.
Played it well against that BP though.
A little help, please. Feeling fantastic. Spider mode.
Okay, again, you have Terror Cape here, so make sure you use it. Gotta be using Terror Cape as much as you can when you can.
By the eye.
My time to shine.
Just one thing there. Since you can see he's gonna just hop into cloak form, start shooting him, and then try and be with your team when you do go invisible. Because you're just invising yourself there. Oh, and the invis. But obviously you could have got your Bucky as well. But it's fine, I think your invis came to you. But if you can just make sure whenever you fade it's got your whole team, that's always going to be best. However, you still played, like, remember, right now I'm nitpicking, but you played that really well. So.
My time.
It was a good cape on the BP, it was a good fade out, and you kept your invis up. And your fade did save your invis, so well done.
To shine. Anyone willing to
It's
help?
more just a tiny thing of, you know, try and maximize. Again, it's just about efficiency. Try and maximize your fade, because there you could have got the Bucky as well. Again, it wasn't a big deal, but, you know, just tiny things like that may come up in the future games, and they may have a big impact on the outcome of your game.
Against the world. Shields up. My time to shine.
That was really good. You waited till the last second you needed to fade. You didn't fade unless you absolutely have to on the Scarlet ult, and you bubbled as soon as you fell down. This is really good. Well played.
Us against the world. That's some vintage spider
Get
style.
Spider Zero where she needs to go.
Life force is exposed. Here they come.
Systems restored.
Okay, did you need that bubble? Try not to be wasteful with it.
My time to shine. Better stop that vehicle.
The thing is, you just never know when you really need it. You want to have it when you absolutely need it.
You get a web and you get a web and you get a web. Level personal. Lights out.
It's a really good light shield to hit everybody.
My time to shine. Invisible?
Pep in my step.
Perfect. I will say, in that overtime, you played very well. Compared to the rest of the gameplay I'd seen, that was actually very good. It was a really nice cloak ult, a good fade. So I'll quickly just, I'll let it play out quickly. The halftime, I would probably want to talk about the fact that you tend to rush your bubble a lot, you tend to rush your cape a lot. When you do fade, I know you like to go straight up in the air, but try and fade into cover. When you get dove, try and stick with your teammates, don't split too far. And also, once you've won a fight, right, and there's downtime, try and position where you can throw your daggers and get a little bit extra ult charge by hitting the enemies, because that difference is huge. And then also, when you ult, only ult when you have to, remember? On support, you get the most value when you do things when you absolutely have to, okay? Because the more you can, like, if you have, let's say you have to cloak ult, right? Because they're Groot ulting. You have now cancelled the Groot ult with your ult. But in the scenario we saw before, you cloak ulted and they didn't do anything. I mean, they were still walking up. It didn't change anything. Your ult has got to be, and every ability, right? Your bubble has got to have the divers going like, for fuck's sake, god damn it. You know, they got to be like, oh, what am I supposed to do? because the bubble heals a bunch. It can't just be like, oh, she has no bubble, kill her. And it's the same with the ult. They should be using their ults, and you completely counter them with your ult. That is what a good cloak does. A good cloak does not allow for anything to happen.
Team to win this one.
And that cape is overpowered. That cape is so broken this season. The Terror cape. Make sure you're constantly using that. Especially even on tanks, it's just so broken. And coordinate it with your team, you know? Like something I like to do is I will coordinate with my team. I'll say I'm gonna cape this person, and everyone shoots them, they die instantly. Like the thing,
30 seconds before.
you'll see a lot of things will run in like quite aggressively into your team, and if you have your team with you, you can just cape him and he will
Before you
die.
attack, get ready.
Like that is the carry factor of Cloak, is her cape and her bubble. Those two abilities are absolutely busted. Even the fade as well. I mean, the fade can cancel a lot of ults.
Readings are gonna blow out your sensors, fighter.
Okay.
Here comes trouble.
Much better.
A little help, please. Systems restoring.
Again, didn't need the bubble.
No! Fighting's gonna go down this easy.
I don't mind the bubble, but again, like, I don't know, a lot of these bubbles are just very rushed and wasteful. Like, here on this Venom, I don't know. It's not absolutely necessary. But it's not bad, it's just, I don't know.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes.
If I were to be honest, I just would be a bit better, because, yep, this is where you would want your bubble.
My time to shine. Thanks.
Would have been better, again, to have faded to a better place up here. Like, your fades tend to go straight up in the air, and once you get to a higher rank, everyone's just going to see you fading up and just shoot you as you fall down. Because, again, when you're falling down, you can't move, so you're easy to hit. There's no strafe or anything, it's just straight down. Where are you going? Right now, you should be backing up to cover. They are taking an aggressive position on your backline. You need to be backing up to save them. You can't be walking forwards here. This is gonna get you killed, and it will do. It just does. And lo and behold, why did this all happen? You wasted bubble, and then when you faded, you didn't fade to cover. That is exactly why you died.
Bad guys. Lights out.
Much you could do.
Pop back up under their noses.
My time to shine. Help get that vehicle to its destination. Vortex field.
That's what I needed.
Systems restoring.
That's just really, really unlucky. You did everything you should have. The bubble was nice, shield was nice. What you can do about that? And I like, okay, good. You went to cover this time.
Armed and dangerous.
Why did you do that? Okay, this isn't. I can't mean this is not a lesson. There's nothing to learn here. I mean, clearly you know this is a mistake. You should have backed up to the health pack and regrouped with your team.
Lights out. Armed and dangerous.
Yeah.
A little higher mode.
Oh, went a bit too far.
A little help, please.
Again, bubble just isn't necessary though.
Better.
Fire mode. Disappear. Shields up.
Lights out.
What did? Okay.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Us against the world.
Again,
Pep in my step.
was it necessary? The cape at first didn't need to. I mean, the cape was nice,
Someone
but
going to help?
it wasn't
By
even
the
necessary.
eye of Agamotto!
I'm not so sure.
Right time to shine.
Put some pep in my step.
I don't mind it. It's honestly not a bad ult, but maybe just I would have waited a little bit longer. But it's okay for now. But you know, just be a little bit more efficient with these ults. But that it's not a bad ult, like by any means.
My time to shine. My time to shine.
Lights out.
Powering up. Get that
Okay, so again, you've just used your ult, so now you need to go and get that back as quick as possible.
vehicle moving again.
Candy needs help. Welcome to the dark force
Nice, good
dimension.
fade. Make sure.
That's a
Nice.
dead gift.
Well played.
Sneaking from behind.
Your team needs to look at this bucket. You can't leave him now.
My time to shine. Glancing out.
Good use of the bubble on your team instead of yourself because you're in a safe position. Make sure to keep doing that. That's good. You knew you didn't need to be healed if they did.
Tremble before blast!
Obviously, you need to put I need healing in the chat because you need to be healed when they have a BP.
I'm counting on you, friends.
Yep. I don't know if you make sure your headset has footsteps on the loudest, or let me just show you. It should be immersion. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember. No, yeah, I think it's focus actually. Make sure that you have it so that you can hear everything going on around you here. Because I can hear this BP behind you, like actively walking around.
I'll get you next time. Get
He's
that
not walking
vehicle
right now.
moving again.
Good bubble. Really good bubble. However, I'm not sure if that's going to change anything.
Again!
No, don't cloak wall.
Take my
Okay. This is fine. Good job healing yourself and not using the cloak wall. Should be able to regroup for another fight. Again, I'm hoping to see a cloak ult that is used to deny something else. Because again, this is the issue, is none of your cloak ults have denied a Groot ult. All of your cloak ults have been used before for no reason to counter no ults. And, you know, that can't be the case. It's okay to have an aggressive one every now and then, but it can't be this excessive.
us
Good
against the
job.
world.
Again, you just didn't need it. Didn't need to ult that. Nobody was low, nobody needed it. It's not necessarily a bad ult, but it's just not a great ult because it didn't deny any value. It just stopped them from pushing for like 8 seconds. It didn't cancel any sort of ults. And you're dead. Like, you can't face tank on cloak ult. I'm sure you know that.
Powering up.
Also, where is your cloak ult? Okay, you are in it. It was just bugged.
Careful, Ty.
That's really. Yeah, see, your cloak ult isn't even there, which is weird because it's definitely been longer than 8 seconds. I mean, less than 8 seconds.
Careful, Ty.
That's weird. I'm not sure. Obviously, though, against Strange, you can't get too aggressive because his explode does insane burst damage. So that's all I would take from that, is be a little bit cautious around Doctor Strange, because when he's a fully purple cape, which is 100 charge, that burst damage can get you killed through any support tool,
My time to shine.
for anything.
What am I?
Look at your team clutched up. You know, heal him up. It's good. And now you need to be looking to do some damage and build that ult up again.
Get that vehicle moving again.
Right now, this is nothing. This is downtime, and this is what you don't want. You need to be somehow at least trying to find damage, but looks like you can't since I think they're TPing from Swarm.
Only 60 seconds left. My time to shine.
By the eye!
Pop back up under their noses.
Good save.
Feeling fantastic. Powering up. My time to
Again, was the bubble necessary?
shine.
If it was on you, yes, but again, that bubble would have been 10 times better being put on the penny here. It's small things like that that make a huge difference.
World.
Tremble before fast! Armed and dangerous!
Bubble was just a bit late. Your ability usage, like, you have pretty good positioning, to be honest. Like, I don't mind your positioning. Obviously, the one thing I don't like is when the fights are over, you don't get aggressive and try and get some damage in. But your positioning is generally great, but some of these abilities, it's just the ability usage is really holding you back here.
Get down to 30 seconds.
Like, you had Bubble this entire time and you knew he was going to fight. Instead of making him back up more, you could have put the Bubble down here and fought, because they have no healing right now. And you could have literally discorded as well. You could have bubbled and discorded both of them after healing your Bucky up. It's just too late.
My time to shine.
Still managed to get a kill, which is good. But
Systems restarting.
it's over now.
Vehicle reached a
Regardless
checkpoint.
of what you
Keep
did,
up the momentum.
your team wouldn't have touched a point, but
Please don't go
you
down.
just never know. It's always best to play as good as possible.
Feeling fantastic.
Yeah. Just the bubbles just missed. Okay, again, look. It's okay to heal this penny and stuff, but your invis is almost always healing this guy. You might as well just go for some damage. That's a good bubble, because you know your penny's going to be getting all the healing out of it, and you're trying to build your ult. That is a good bubble. Do not all see. There's no reason to ult, right? Like, there's nothing. There's no reason. No one on your team needed that.
Only 60 seconds left. My time to shine.
This is good though. This is what I want to see. Like, is as soon as a fight is over, I want to see what you're doing now, which is just shooting daggers into their team and building that extra bit of ult charge. This is great. Make sure you keep this up.
Feeling fantastic. A little help. Powering up.
Good light shield. Yep. You know, always collab with the light shield. Get as many people as you can. That's great. Again though, do you need to back up here? Not really. You know, again, you got to be getting that damage in, right? If your team isn't taking damage, like these people are taking almost no damage, you've got to be doing damage instead. It's all about getting that ult charge as quick as you can.
Down to 30 seconds.
Armed and dangerous!
Did you need to back out of your bubble there?
My time to shine.
When that bubble goes down, stay in it. Because again, what would you have had here? Fade. You know, as soon as you're in that bubble, you would have been safe. That Bucky would have had a hard time killing you, unless you got to 1 HP, then you could have faded. But just again, it's just rush. Like, a lot of your cooldown usage is super rush. Just watch it back. The bubble goes down.
Better.
Armed and dangerous!
Right? Like, you could have just sat in this bubble. I mean, look who's in front of you anyway. No one would have killed you. You could have sat in the bubble, no fade, and just shot him. Right. So instead you wasted your fade, which would have been useful when the BP dove you later.
Anyone willing
And
to
that
help?
is, you know, there's been so many scenarios in your gameplay where, like, you've preemptively used cooldowns, so use them when you don't need to. And then later on, the scenarios where you would have needed them have come up and you haven't had them. That's happened so many times, and it's the reason. It's definitely something holding you back. Is this just the ability usage and the ult usage is just super rushed, especially the ult usage as well. Make sure you're using that when you need to.
Watch out there, Minnow.
Us against the world! Please.
Because you had no fade, there is nothing you could have done about that BP.
The final 10 seconds!
Again, why are you back here? Right? You're not being efficient here. You could be doing damage instead of shooting the drum. You could have. Oh, no, it sent me up here for some reason. Okay. You could be up here, right? Shooting around, trying to bounce some off the wall, right? Even just bouncing some off the wall may hit people. Like, any amount of damage is an extra percentage of ult charge that is still crucial, because any ult charge is better than none. So right now, you can see where the payload is. It would not hurt you to come up close to this wall here and just start shooting, right? You just shoot around this wall and then take cover and grab the health pack up here if anything gets bad. But what are you doing back here, right? Nothing. No ult charge is being built.
That's it!
Just giving it up for no
Don't
reason.
let anything stand in your way! Spider mode!
Again, you're healing people. Like, it's just the efficiency, man. You gotta be doing damage, right? Right now, there needs to be daggers going into their team.
Anyone willing to help?
Again, the bubble usage, right? I mean, that bubble, she was always gonna run out of it, right? If you have a look where you put this bubble, who's gonna be playing in that, right? No one's gonna play in that bubble. It's too dangerous to play in that bubble. It's not a good bubble. That bubble needs to be in a place where your team's playing, like right here. Okay, I get you use it to try and save the penny, but even then it didn't really do anything. And lo and behold, guess what? This is where you would have wanted the bubble, right?
Take my Let's pop
If you had the bubble, everyone would have lived.
back up under their nose.
This is why your game is changing so much, and what is holding you back from ranking up. The whole thing with Cloak is she's quite a simple character, which means to, carry on her, you really need to maximize everything and play as well as you can, and just min-max every aspect of your gameplay. Because that's the big difference between your average cloak and a really good cloak. Because a really good cloak is always going to have their ult at the right and most annoying times. Always going to have bubble when they get dove or fade. They're always going to fade every single ult to cancel it, and they're always going to put that terror cape on anybody who is out of position.
My turn to shine!
And that's what's holding you back. Is you're not doing those things as much as you need to be.
You get a web, and you get a web, and you get a web. Leave them to consume.
Again, right now this is something really important. How much health does this Venom have? 200, right? So you're healing quite a lot here. But your Spider-Man, if we're talking about how much HP he has 69 HP compared to this 340. You need to be healing your Spider-Man here, okay? Because the amount of percentage of HP that you do right now, right? Let's say you shoot one shot on the Venom and you shoot one shot on the Spider-Man. Whose health has gone up more percentage-wise? The Spider-Man, right? Because he has less health, so each shot is going to give him more percentage of his HP bar. So it's way better to heal your Spider-Man here, considering that your Venom is in a lot less danger with this kind of HP. Whilst your Spider-Man is one shot to a group.
Pride of the neighborhood!
Us against the world.
Nothing wrong with that. It's the end of the fight, so nothing wrong with this. GG. So, I'm just going to go over everything I've seen, and I just want to tell you what I want you to start doing now, and then I would like to see, by the end of the week, I'd like to see another replay, and I want to make sure that you've improved to see if there's anything else that might come up after that. So, make sure to place another gig with me after this. But, for now, what I'd like to say is, you are not a bad player. I don't think you should be in Diamond after. The cloaks I've seen play worse than you are higher ranked than you. So I think if you just play the game, you will rank up. However, to win more games and start carrying games, right? People might not see it, okay? You may not come up on the stat board, but there are some huge things that you need to change, and that is mainly your ult usage, right? Your ult usage is not what it needs to be if you want to be carrying games, okay? You're not canceling any ults, you're not using it at really valuable times, you're not, taking value from the enemy team, okay? You're using it at a time where the enemy can just wait it out and then move on, or if they were going to lose anyway, okay? Again, with the Terror Capes, I really liked when you managed to hit them on the BP and fade. However, it's risky, and a lot of them you missed. And I wasn't seeing a lot of capes on people that were out of position, okay? This group needed to be caped way more. Again, one more thing, the bubble usage. It was really good at sometimes, but it was put in places, like for instance on the Venom or the Penny, where no one can stay there for a long time. It's really not going to get that much value. It's all about value on Cloak. So they were really rushed, and you caught out a lot of times in Groot ults where you needed that bubble or the Cloak ult. And that's not allowed, you can't let that happen. Again, when the fight is over, I'm seeing you sit there and kind of not do anything. But you need to build ult charge, okay? Because the most important thing on ult is how fast you build that ult, okay? So you've got to be doing damage, okay? You cannot have any downtime. It's got to be uptime, uptime, uptime. I want to see damage way more. Just a couple daggers, even that extra 5% is game changing. You never know. You may die and be 1% off Cloak ult. In fact, how many times was there where you were 99 when the Groot ulted? Twice, I think it happened in this game. And lo and behold, if you'd just been doing a bit more damage, that wouldn't have happened, okay? So it's all these little things add up a bunch. Um, Now, is that everything? Let me think back. Oh yeah, when you fade, try and fade to cover as much as you can. I get the habit of flying right up in the air, but it's really not great because when you get to a higher rank, once you get all the way up in the air, you're in a predictable piece of movement, which is straight down, and Hellas, Hawkeyes, anyone will just kill you straight out of it. You always want to be fading to a safe position when you can. Um, Anything else really? Honestly, no. One thing, and you probably do it anyway. Whenever you load into a game with another support, do try and say who's going to support ult first. You may do this anyway, but I just want to put that out there because a lot of people don't know about that. A lot of people don't do it, but it's really important so that you don't double support ult if you're not in comms. I just want to make sure I get everything out for you. So just no, I would say that's generally it, to be honest. And yeah, obviously when you do have your fade, try and get as many people as you can, like with the Scarlet ult or with the Doctor Strange ult. Make sure when you are fading, it's getting as many teammates as you can invisible and saving as many as you can. Mainly, I like the positioning from your gameplay, just, you're not really min-maxing enough. There's not maximum damage, there's not maximum uptime, and the ability usage and the ult usage is just slightly off. All of these things can be fixed very easily, just make sure when you bubble, do I need to bubble? When you ult, am I ulting something necessary? Just ask yourself those questions as much as you can, and your gameplay will improve really quickly. So maybe on Friday or Saturday, just send me another replay. We'll go over it, and I reckon you will have improved a lot. If not, we can do this again, and I'll highlight even more. And regardless, you will rank up and you will get better. I've never had anybody that doesn't. I hope you enjoyed this. If there's any issues or anything, that you want to ask me, I'm always free. So just give me a text. And yeah, it was great watching you. I'm sure you'll improve. Bye bye.